Today I'm going to give you some tips on how to stop sabotaging yourself. Keep on watching.
This is your life, no one else has gotta live it. This is your fight that only you can win.
Hello everyone and welcome to Freedom Friday, where you learn how to free yourself and live your dreams. I'm Darienne, your certified spiritual rock star. And if you are new here, welcome to my channel. Welcome to my empire. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell for notifications if you would like to get videos just like this every single Friday. Okay, so this question or this answer is in response to a question that I got in the Rockin' Empath Facebook group. If you are an empath and you would love to have a support system helping you get out of victim mentality, we got one for you. It's called #RockinEmpath in Facebook, and it's down below. The link is down below if you'd like to access that. So a woman by the name of Reagan, who is also one of my Keys to the Empire monthly members, asked this question, and I sort of whittled it down to this concept that we want to stop self-sabotaging, essentially. So it's either we are making choices that we know are not good for us, or we are not making choices that we know are good for us, right? So it's like, even though we know we should be eating the salad, we're like, I can't eat the salad, I gotta eat the donut. Or we just like feel a block when it comes to doing what's positive for us or breaking that cycle. And I'm gonna give you a few tips to help you out today. Are you ready? Now, also, make sure that you stick around until the end of this video, because I am going to be doing a Facebook Live after this video today, the day that I'm posting it, to continue the conversation, and I will tell you the time that I will be on at the end of this. And I definitely want you to watch this so that we can actually continue the conversation over there. And I also have a special announcement on Facebook Live today, so make sure you watch that live. And okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. How to stop sabotaging yourself. Okay, so the first thing you're going to take and you're going to need to have is awareness. Self-awareness is probably the first step to breaking the cycle of anything, especially self-sabotage. It is how I healed my depression naturally. It is the beginning of how I started to heal my depression naturally without any drugs. I have videos all on that if you ever want to watch that. And it really is, self-awareness is the beginning of spiritual awakening. It really is. It's like the prerequisite for it. And so to break a cycle essentially means to break a cycle, to heal your depression, to break the cycle of depression, to have a spiritual awakening. Self-awareness is what it's doing is it's helping you to break out of the ego, because all of those things, the fact that you're not spiritually already awakened or perceive yourself not to be, the fact that you're suffering from whatever, or you continue to sabotage yourself or not make choices that you know you should for yourself, that is simply it's simply a story. It's a pattern of thought that was made up by the ego, lower, I don't know what to call it, denser version of you. Those aren't really good words for it, but you get what I'm saying, right? The ego version of you, this version of you that just like makes up this whole crazy story persona, and none of it's really true. So you want to have awareness, because here's the thing. You're in a pattern. Whether it's what you would consider a toxic pattern or a healthy pattern or just a pattern, it's like, you know, you wake up in the morning and you go brush your teeth, or whatever your pattern is when you wake up in the morning. It's just a pattern. Totally easy to be broken, right? It's kind of like learning how to ride a bike, right? Once you get into the pattern of thought and the pattern of physical repetition, you get it. But it takes a little bit, right? You're a little wobbly at first. Not a big deal. And it takes a lot more awareness, right? Think about the first time you learned how to ride a car. If any of you, I know I have a lot of teenagers that follow me. Shout out to you guys. But for those of us who have learned how to ride a car, it takes this uber awareness. And then it gets to the point where like, you're just in a pattern. Like you don't even have to think about it. So when we're shifting patterns, we have to have awareness and expect that the old pattern of thinking is going to come up. Like you're not a freaking, yes, you are a magician, but you're also a human being. So just remember that in your alchemy of yourself and your life, in the transition and transformation of yourself in your life, remember that you're a human being, right? I want you to beat it into your head that you're a fucking magician and you can do anything, but it's already been beaten into your head that you're just a human being and you're not that fucking powerful, which is not your truth, but it feels true for you right now because it's a pattern of thought. No big deal, just a pattern. That's it. So the awareness will help to break the pattern. So the other thing that I want to mention is, let's say you're at your crossroads, right? You're just about to either make the poor decision or not make the healthy decision, right? Like you're at a crossroads. It's like, okay, I can feel myself either resisting what's good for me or craving what's bad for me, right? What I want you to realize and what you feel, let's say you're sitting here thinking like, I really want to go for a run right now because you feel like that would really be good for your soul. Like it really just feels good to run. And it's not you beating yourself up saying, I'm trying to put pressure on you, like you need to go running because that's what you're supposed to do. No, but it really feels good to your soul to go running. But there's this block, right? You just feel like something in you just says, no. And then all of a sudden, maybe you even start to feel like really heavy and you're just like, I don't really feel like doing that, okay? The reaction that you're having, the emotions that you're having, is merely a reaction to the story that your ego or whatever, your mind has been telling you. So it's up to you to figure out what is the story. Is the story, I'm not good enough to go running? Because if you're not good enough, then of course your ego, like just understand that your ego is not trying to sabotage you and you're not trying to sabotage you. Your ego is trying to protect you. And if your ego is telling this story that like, I'm not good enough to be a runner or I'm not good enough to run, why would your ego walk into a situation that's going to affirm that you are not good enough? So just sort of thank your ego for protecting you and see if you can debunk that story. Right? So just know the fear that comes up or whatever you call it, the resistance or the quote negative emotion, whatever you want to call it, that you feel right before you're about to either sabotage yourself or sabotage yourself by not making a positive choice or sabotage yourself by making a negative choice. And of course, negative and positive is all determined by you, right? It's not determined by society or anybody else. You're the one that says, is this good for me or not? Which again is a story, but that's for the discussion after this. So you feel that feeling and you go, okay, you don't start fighting the feeling. You don't start trying to push yourself, get your ass in there and start. No, you don't do that. You just say, okay, the reason I'm feeling this is because I'm telling myself a story that thing that I think is good for me, that consciously I know is good for me, but deep in me, some part of my heart, some part of like, I don't know if it's like the 6-year-old in me that's basically running the show emotionally, some part of me, the reason I'm feeling this emotion is because some part of me thinks that is a bad decision. And some part of me thinks that thing that I logically think is negative, some part of me thinks that that's a good decision because whatever, it's going to make me feel good in the moment or whatever the case may be. So you have to look at the story that's being told, not try to force the emotions down or out or anything. it's not the emotion that you need to deal with. It's the story behind the emotion. The emotion is really just like, it's like an alert saying, hey, there's a story here that's making this actually seem bad when you think it's good, or vice versa. When it's that negative thing, ask yourself, what's the story, right? If you're about to go talk to that guy that put you through a year of hell, and you're about to walk down that road again, and you know it logically, but your heart says, the story behind your heart is probably, but I need him to feel loved. That's a bunch of bullshit. Is that not a bunch of bullshit? And so that's an opportunity to mother yourself, to change that story and to go, no, you don't. You don't need him to be loved. You don't need him to know that you're enough. And then you know that there's some healing that you've got to do there, right? So just realize that there's a story that you're telling yourself about that thing that you think is either bad for you or good for you. Logically, you think it's bad for you or good for you. But emotionally, your heart is making the decision for you. So you've got to get your heart and your mind in alignment. That's really the key here, because your heart is really running the show. We do things based on emotions, not based on logic. We make major life decisions based on emotion. We make most of our decisions based on emotion at the end of the day, not necessarily based on logic. And you've got to understand that we've got two brains, right? The heart has a brain, the heart is a brain, and the brain is a brain, right? So the brain's telling one story, this is what's good for me, not attached to the emotion of it. And the heart is telling a whole nother story. So see if you can get those stories into alignment, and we can continue this conversation over on Facebook at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, okay? So that is Friday, whatever today is. I think it's let me check the date. Friday the 25th. Today, I'm obviously not filming this on Friday the 25th, but the day that you are watching this, Friday the 25th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be making a huge announcement as well as continuing this conversation, because I want to know, did you get any ahas? What are some of the stories that you are telling yourself that are sabotaging you and your progress and transformation and journey to your dreams, right? You want to free yourself from those stories. Yeah. So I will see you at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, my loves, over on the Darienne Empire Facebook page. Just look up facebook.com/Darienne Empire, or down in the description, you can just click there. All right, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this. Of course, if you are watching the recording, if you are not watching this on the day that I put this up, of course, this is always a recording, but if you're not watching the day that I put this up, still let me know in the comments down below, what were your ahas? All right, guys, I will see you next week. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications if you have not done so already. And I'll see you on Facebook Live or next Friday. Bye, guys. Mwah. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to share this video with whomever you think it could help, which pretty much is everyone on the planet, because don't we all sabotage ourselves? And make sure you find me all throughout social media at Darienne Empire. I am always doing things either on Facebook or Instagram, so make sure you check me out and come say hello. And check my Insta stories, because I am always babbling about some inspirational ass shiznabbit. In the meantime, until you wait for next week's video or today's Facebook Live, here is a video from the archive to keep you busy. Just click right there. It's really good. All right, bye guys.